honest. He made the decision that he would begin painting as soon as he arrived back at the dairy, and would take the week to paint a panel a day. He delivered every morning, even on Sunday, his wife Gladys having frightened away every young boy Eric had taken on as an apprentice. Even those from homes desperate for the money had never lasted longer than a week, terrified by the temper or frozen in her piercing glare. Daisy Bell turned left, and the anchor loomed before them. "Well done, girl," Eric said, and her ears flicked forward as she recognized the affection in his voice. The public house was their next to last call on the dock road. The round ended at the top of the dockers' steps, which led down to the Mersey and delivered to every house and business on the way. Eric enjoyed the meticulous order of the round, which played well to his military training. Every day was the same orders, same numbers of bottles out and empties back in, and he was about to deliver a crate of 6 sterry to the anchor. There was no sign of the cellarman, but Eric could tell by the bottles stacked outside the back door that the previous evening had been a lock-in. As the float trundled across the cobbled yard, Babs threw open the door and greeted them with a wave. Her usual beehive hairstyle was tied up in a headscarf, which resembled a turban, and the remnants of the previous night's eye makeup was smeared under her eyes. "Busy night, was it, Babs?" Eric asked, as he inclined his head towards the bottles. "The usual, Eric. You know what they're like around here. Complain they've got no money, and just as soon as they have a quid in their pockets, they spend it in here, and either throw it up down our jacksies or piss it up the wall on the way home. Don't ever ask me why I'm still married. If I had just spent a week in this place first, it would have been enough to put me off for life. Men." Eric shook his head. He often thought people must wonder why he was married, given that everyone knew and avoided his wife Gladys. "It's a mystery to me, Babs. I don't know where they get the money from. Only half of the men in the pen were taken on every morning last week, so I've heard." She looked instantly guilty. "Well, don't blame me, Eric. It's not our fault. I mean, we can't refuse to serve them, can we? I had to push Paddy Nolan out of the door myself last night. Cadged the bob off Ina, he did, because he said there was no money for the lecky at home and Peggy and the kids were in the pitch black. Then moved into the back bar and spent it on Guinness as soon as Ina started singing Danny Boy. It's Peggy and the kids I feel sorry for. But what are we supposed to do? Close the bleeding place down?" Without waiting for an answer, she continued, "And if we did, the buggers would only go and spend it down at the Sylvestrian and put their money over the bar there. At least in my pub it's not as far to stagger home, and there's no prozzies on the street to take whatever the soft buggers have left." Babs took a long pull on her cigarette and flicked the ash out of the door. Now it was Eric's turn to feel guilty. "I'm sorry, Babs, I didn't mean to suggest," he began. "Oh, Eric, no, love, no, I know you didn't. It's just harder now that Tommy Doherty isn't around. If he thought anyone was drinking too much and the kids were going without, he'd march them back home. I've seen him many a time, taking what was left of the pay packet from some soft sod, and then their Maura would take it round to the wife the next morning. It's not the same since him and Maura left. The 4 streets are going to pot without them." Eric shook his head in dismay and changed the subject. "I was thinking of painting the float for the Dock Queen Carnival. Is it starting off in your front yard as usual?" Babs's face lit up. "It is. I went to the first meeting with the sister at the convent, and honest to God, the whole time I was there, I was waiting for lightning to strike, or the doors to slam shut and lock me in." Babs, who lived in a warm public house with a large fire, had no need of a welcome dry hour in Mass 3 times a day for 7 months of the year, and was not a regular attender, laughed. "Sister said, 'So, ladies, who is organising the bunting?' Well, not one bugger answered. It was Maura did all that before she left, so I nudged Peggy, who was sat next to me, and said to her, 'Peggy, can't you do that? Didn't you used to be the one helping Maura before she left?' And she just gawped at me. I tell you, no one was home that night, and I don't know what's wrong with that woman, apart from the fact that she's married to Paddy and has 7 kids with open mouths hanging around their ankles. Kathleen Dean was on the other side of me, and she's the one half raising those kids since Maura left. So Kathleen can't do it, can she? She's making the cakes. Maisie's so..."